Like, share, and subscribe. Welcome to Grandpa Sees the Blinking. Oh boy. Okay, we got it going on here today. These two red lines here are $50 apart. And pay very close attention because Grandpa is gonna. You're getting the info today. Today is the info. Tesla and Trump. What's going on there? Well, I'll tell you what. Grandpa's going to tell you here shortly. We're going to get at it. Last couple live streams, Grandpa's been pretty busy with these grandkids. I'll tell you what. You try to do a live stream with 4 little ones on your lap, and it's hard to focus. But right now, I got them all in the other room. So, all right. This bottom red line right here, where Grandpa's mouse is moving, is $214.50. The top one is $264.50. It's $50 between the two. 5 of the last 7 months. 5 of the last 7 months. You could have bought at $214.50 and sold at $264.50. Why didn't Grandpa point this out before? Well, I don't know. I didn't pay attention to it either. But we're running in a range here, and if you can get in at 209, 207, 210, 212, 214. Now, you might say, Grandpa, how am I going to get $214.50 when the price is only $211 or $212? How am I going to get $214.50? Well, how you do that is you just wait till it gets up there and then you buy. But if you happen to buy it at 210 or 209, let's use 210 for an example. Say you buy at 210. Don't wait for $264.50. Sell it at $260. Make your $50 and be happy. And then wait till it goes back down to $214.50. Grandpa thinks we got something going here. You know, it's so common for Tesla to make a $50 candle each month. 5 out of 7 candles in Tesla are probably $50 or more. Why not try that strategy a little bit? It's fun. Well, you don't have to sell every single share if you don't want to. You want to hang on to some because Grandpa's got 7,000 reasons why you don't want to sell all your shares. I've done that before multiple times and missed. You don't want to miss the $7,000. Okay, so now I'm going to start explaining why this is so important. All right, Zacks. Okay, they do ratings on stocks. And for, oh man, I don't even know how long, probably 3-4 months, they had a strong sell on Tesla. Back when it was down and went up and up to the 280s, and they just maintained it. And then the other day they went to a hold, a couple, 2-3 days back. Which surprised Grandpa because they were a strong sell forever. Grandpa watches stuff, That's why I'm up at 4 in the morning or earlier. But anyway, Zach's put a buy on Tesla, a buy. It's not a strong buy, but it's a buy. And that's hugely important. Okay, it doesn't mean it's going to skyrocket tomorrow. Grandpa, for this next week, I think we're going to see the 190s. I also think we're going to see the 220s and maybe 230. You might get an opportunity to get rid of a few shares and rebuy is what Grandpa's hoping for. But on the other hand, on Monday, if you see 209, 208 area, 210, whatever, you might want to snag some for the ride up because this thing could bounce back up to 264 again area, this top red line right here for the month, and then you miss your bounce up. And you know the Tesla insiders, okay, you know what they are? That's the board, the executives. They are buying. They bought millions of shares here in just recent, and they've sold very few in comparison. I mean, we're talking they bought millions of shares. Grandpa's gone on and on and on about the big guys are buying, and they are buying. It's let me run through a few names. Grandpa can find them here. Oh, where'd Grandpa put these guys? I'll tell you what. You got Goldman Sachs. You got Grandpa's got a whole list of them here if I could find it. Well, anyway, Grandpa's tired of trying to find it. You got Vanguard. You've got Fidelity. You got BlackRock. They're all buying. The big guys are buying. I'm telling you. They've been buying. Grandpa's been screaming about it for 6 months. Okay, they're long. They're playing the long game here. We're talking hundreds of millions of shares each in some cases, and they're picking up 2-3 million here. Kathy Wood at Archivest started buying some the other day at 240. She bought again at 230. I haven't heard any more recent reports on her, but she's buying 100,000 shares. These other guys are buying. Well, she buys millions, but 100,000 at a time. They have to buy over time. Keep that in mind. They got to buy over time. They can't just go in and buy all the shares that they want in one day. They'd like to, but they can't. Okay, we got to talk about Tesla and Trump here a little bit because that's Grandpa's heading. And Grandpa's going to go through these charts here a little bit, but Tesla and Trump and Ford slashed their predictions for what they're going to do with their F-150 electric vehicle. They're slashing their potential output by 50% or more. And the electric, not Tesla, but the rest of them, Ford, GM, Chrysler, all of them. The only one besides Tesla that makes are all losing money. Okay, they lose money. Ford, GM, Chrysler, any of them that's making an electric vehicle besides Tesla or BYD in China, they all lose money. Every time they make an electric vehicle, in some cases they lose tens of thousands per vehicle produced. And right now they can't even hardly sell a gas or a diesel vehicle, let alone an electric one. Okay. And Tesla's cutting prices. They cut prices in China. They cut prices in Europe, and they're going. Grandpa thinks they'll probably cut here in the U.S. here shortly, and Grandpa views this as a good thing. Their margins might be coming down a little bit, but their market share is going to increase substantially, because the other guys are cutting back. They're cutting back on making electric vehicles. They're falling farther and farther and farther behind Tesla. And while they're falling behind, Tesla is gaining market share. They might have cut their prices down some, but when this bad economic time turns around, Tesla's going to be right on the front burner. And Tesla's still moving cars. Don't worry about Tesla and Elon. Elon is very smart and he knows what he's doing. Now let's get to Trump. How is Trump, Trump endorsed DeSantis for president, and let's see. Elon endorsed DeSantis for. I got to get this straight. Elon endorsed DeSantis for president, and I think that kind of made Trump a little upset because he's been not very happy with. Every time I watch a speech on Trump, he's talking about electric vehicles. He's talking about when he's president, which is a very strong likelihood here because looks like he's got the nomination pretty much wrapped up for the Republicans. And when Trump says that he's going to get rid of these incentives that Biden's put in to help these electric vehicle makers, and I can tell you, Biden doesn't get along with Elon. From what I've seen, I don't think that's a love relationship by no means. They didn't make these incentives for Tesla. They made them to help Ford, GM, and Chrysler because they want to get the union vote, and in Grandpa's opinion. So, if I'm trying to paint a picture here, but Grandpa ain't too good at stuff like this, but I'm going to keep going. So, you got Trump isn't real happy with Elon and Tesla because he endorsed DeSantis, and DeSantis doesn't have a prayer. And I think in the future, Trump and Elon will make up and it'll all be great. And we're going to have fun times. But for right now, when Trump becomes president, he's going to get rid of all the incentives. And when he gets rid of those incentives, Tesla's still going to be making money, okay? But who's not going to be? Ford, Chrysler, GM, without the incentives, they might not even make half the electric vehicles, let alone they're already cutting back. It's going to bring them to a standstill, okay? Elon ain't going to have any competition. Tesla's not. There's not going to be anybody left but BYD in the world over in China. Hardly making electric cars when these incentives come off. I want these incentives off. It's going to be huge for Tesla's market share overall. I'm looking at Ford and GM and Chrysler. Do you remember Studebaker? Yeah, some of you older guys, and DeSoto and different vehicles. They're gone. They're gone. Things change in this world. I can envision a world where the top ones in the world are Tesla and BYD and maybe Toyota or something like that, So think of it as good news. We want Trump in there so he can take those incentives away and help Tesla. That's Grandpa's take on it, and I'm sticking with it. So we got a $50 move here. Get some shares. Get some shares. If you buy them at 210, sell them at 260. But get your $50. When you buy a Tesla share, Grandpa's new thing is we should make $50 on our Tesla shares. But in order to do that, you got to buy in a decent spot. And I'm telling you right now, we're in a decent spot. I'm expecting a bounce here. I'm expecting the 220s, maybe 230s, but I'm also expecting the 190s, okay? But Grandpa doesn't know for sure. We might turn here at 209 or 210 or 211 and not turn around for months, okay? Or at least a month. 5 out of the 7 months, last months, you could have bought in the 214 area or lower and sold them at 264 and a half, 265. So let's get with the program, guys and gals. Let's see, what is Grandpa talking about? I talked about insiders. Everybody's buying. Well, let's see. What did Tesla end up? Oh, we closed in the green on Friday. We had a high at 213.19, a low at 207.56. Very tight range. Like what's been low volume for a long time. Closed at 212.19, about 30-something cents up. Oh boy, Tesla's moving 30 cents. We're green. Throughout the day, they bought a lot down at 199, 201. In the past, we usually get a bounce off that just above 200, 201 area. Bounce back up to 204, 205 if you want to play that game. And on the sell side, on the top, 224 is about as high up as they were shorting. But that can change in a heartbeat. So on the top we have substance at 284, and on the bottom we got 184. You absolutely will see these two numbers in your future, 100%. Grandpa just doesn't know when. They're short up here on the top and they're long on the bottom. But overall, the market makers and the big money are buying. They're long. They've been long for 6 months. They're holding shares that they bought, Grandpa believes, 5-6 months ago, and they're just sitting on them, if not longer. And where are they going to sell them? Well, Grandpa thinks they're going to sell them at probably close to 7,000 a share, a good share of them. That's what Grandpa thinks. Hey, Grandpa doesn't have very many subscribers, and I want to get some. And I was thinking we should have a little contest on subscribers for Grandpa. Help Grandpa get subscribers. And you guys are going to see if you can get Grandpa. I got 32 subscribers, and I've made 302 live streams. That's a pretty low percentage. Grandpa ain't the most popular guy in the world. But I do have 32. I gained another one the other day, and which makes Grandpa really happy. And the thing is this. Share Grandpa with your friends. Tell them, Grandpa sees the blinking. And because they can have an opportunity to buy a share and make $50 on one share in a month. And but they need to buy down here. Grandpa will tell them when to buy it. And but here's the contest, okay? Tesla's going to 7,000, and Grandpa, of course, wants 700 subscribers. That's Grandpa's goal. Now, can Grandpa get 700 subscribers before Tesla gets to 7,000? Now, let's see if you guys can make that happen. Grandpa can't subscribe himself. I I can do a lot of stuff, but I can't do that. And I know. Well, you say I've already subscribed. Well, get your grandma to subscribe. She loves talking about and listening to Grandpa. I got people that listen to me just to go to sleep at night. Several of them. They're my best customers. They listen to Grandpa, and Grandpa talks and puts them to sleep, and that's a fact. But on the other hand, if you want to make some money, Grandpa makes Grandpa really does well, and so does Grandma. And get Grandpa's. Let's see if we can get Grandpa to 700 subscribers before Tesla gets to 7,000. You know, there's a lot of analysts and prediction people out there that are saying that Tesla will hit 3,000 per share in 2025. And I think that is a strong possibility. When this thing turns, you won't even be able to buy a share when it goes up. And also, there's been talk at Tesla of doing a stock buyback. That's where they reduce the number of shares. Grandpa, your stock is going to skyrocket, but the little guys aren't. If they start buying back their stock, you'll hardly be able to get in because it'll be 7,000 so fast we won't even know what's going on. Hang on to some of your shares. This is a buying opportunity. Grandpa better get off here. I think I talked too long. I'll come back later and do another one. I got so much stuff to cover I can't even tell you. Like, share, subscribe. Get Grandpa some subscribers. 700. Can you make I'll tell you, if you think it's hard for Tesla to get to $7,000 a share, that ain't nothing compared to trying to get Grandpa up to 700 subscribers. Okay. All good things are from the Lord, and Lord willing, we'll do it again. I got 11 of these grandkids here, and we're having so much fun. I can't even tell you how. Nobody should have as much fun as Grandpa. That's the real truth. Lord willing, I'll do another one here later today. Bye bye.